If everyone would please join if you feel like you would like to.
Good morning. As an affirmation for peace in the Middle East and in solidarity with our Muslim and Jewish brothers and sisters, all of us people of the book, we greet one another. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Shalom. Well, as most of you know, I'm Reverend Vicki Elder, and it is my joy and honor to welcome you to Unity of Monterey Bay, a beloved community co-created with love and intention that welcomes all people, all races, nationalities, cultures, and religions, whatever your immigration status, sexual orientation, gender identity, family configuration, and or abilities. Whether you're here with us in person or joining us virtually, we know that love knows no boundaries. We are one in spirit. As a purpose-driven church, Unity of Monterey Bay is an inclusive spiritual community committed to co-creating an environmentally sustainable, spiritually fulfilling, socially just, and compassionate human presence on this planet. We celebrate our oneness and honor the God of each of our understanding, affirming the innate good and divine essence within each and every individual. Would you please join me in our statement of faith? There is only one presence and one power in the universe, God the good, expressing as infinite God beyond us, intimate God beside us, inner God being us, divine love in action. As we allow this knowing to deepen within our souls and serve to awaken us into enlightenment for the benefit of all living beings, we join in this prayer for peace, holding Ukraine, the Middle East, and all other places in the world in turmoil, as well as our own United States in our hearts and minds. I offer you peace.
I offer you peace.
I offer you love.
I offer you love.
I offer you friendship.
I offer you friendship.
I see your beauty.
I see your beauty.
I hear your need.
I hear your needs.
I feel your feelings.
I feel your feelings.
My wisdom flows from the one source,
My wisdom flows from the one source,
and I bow to that source in you.
and I bow to that source in you.
Let us work together in unity and love.
Let us work together in unity and love.
And so it is. And now let us affirm together, thank you, God, for this most amazing day. Miracle follows miracle, and wonders never cease. And as we do every week, we celebrate our children, those in our spiritual community, those in our families, those in the larger community, all the children in the world, including that inner child that is within each one of us. We open our hearts wide and see them protected and resilient, creative and evolving, joyous and loved, as we join in our heartfelt blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, just the way you are. And thank you, Kay, for sending out an emergency e-blast to remind everybody that this is Change Sunday. And our Change Sunday that was actually invented or brought to us by Paulinda some 20 years ago or so, that as a way that we could raise money for our Fred Kleppe Fund, which is an emergency fund we use for those in our community and outside of our community that may be in times of need. We bought bus tickets and helped with tires and paid PG&E bills and a variety of different things. And so once a quarter, we do Change Sunday. And the original one was, if you did a quarter a day for a month, it would come up to about, for a quarter, it would come up to about $23 and something. But whatever you have, whatever your change, at that time we had cups we gave out and people could put a quarter a day in the cup. But now we've just turned it into, we accept currency, checks, credit cards, the QR code, any way you want to donate. But here we go. Love something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love something if you give it away.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And so we begin the worship portion of our service today. Taking a deep breath in and letting it out with an audible sigh, we center ourselves to embrace this blissful interconnection with Spirit and invite the chime to call us into this sacred space within. We ring the chime 4 times to call in the 4 directions and remind us of our interconnectedness with all of creation and the sacred circle of life. As we feel it resonate through our very beings, we follow its call into this now present moment within. Continuing to focus on our breath, with each inhale, we open our hearts and minds. We envision our breath reaching every cell of our being. And with each exhale, we see all barriers and obstacles dissolving into the divine flow. And again, as we inhale, we expand the spaciousness within us. We move beyond the limitations and boundaries of our bodies. And as we exhale, we ground ourselves deep within Mother Earth and into our oneness with the universe. Finally, we breathe our awareness into the highest expression of love, light, joy, and peace that we could imagine. As we experience a transforming wave of gratitude, and with a fullness of heart, we say yes to it all, embracing, claiming, and knowing the divine Christ Spirit expressing in, through, and as us. And with a final exhale, we say, thank you, God. Now fully centered and transformed by the power of Spirit, we enter into our lesson and meditation time with today's daily word. We read from the May 29th Daily Word, shared with permission of Unity, publisher of Daily Word, that can also be found at dailyword.com. And the word is forgive. I invite you to allow my words to be your words. I forgive and am forgiven. The greatest gift I can give myself is forgiveness, because I understand as long as I am holding on to unforgiving thoughts, I am a prisoner of my own making. I free myself from my burdens and choose to see the Christ in myself and in others. I am willing to release the heaviness in my heart. I pray for strength to move beyond the pain and hurt I have been carrying. As I let go of resentments and grievances that weigh me down, I make room for peace, and with an open heart, I extend forgiveness. I am open to the healing powers of forgiveness and willing to forgive myself of my past mistakes, releasing guilt, shame, and regret through the power of the Christ within, frees me and clears my mind, and it heals my heart. And from scriptures, for you, O Lord, are good and forgiving, abounding in steadfast love to all who call on you. Psalms 86:5. In witness to the wisdom of the many paths to the sacred, we read from 3 sacred traditions on this morning's topic, forgiveness. From Buddhism, forgiveness is the fruit of understanding. Sometimes even when we want to forgive someone, we cannot. The goodwill to forgive may be there, but the bitterness and suffering are still there too. For me, forgiveness is the result of looking deeply and understanding. And from New Thought and Unity, true forgiveness is not an act of magnanimity. It's an act of self-love, from Charles Fillmore. And from Christianity, judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Luke 6:37.
Today I choose abundance and universal good. Everything unfolds in me exactly as it should. God in me can do anything, myself I know not how. God in me can do anything, and I accept it now. Today I choose forgiveness and let my judgment go. The Christ in me loves everything and everyone I know. God in me can do anything, myself I know not how. God in me can do anything, and I accept it now. Today I choose fulfillment for all the world to see. And as I heal my feelings, life is healing me. God in me can do anything, myself I know not how. God in me can do anything, and I accept it now.
Good morning. So technology is not my strength, so bear with me. I hear you're very supportive. Vicki says that you hum with her when she needs. So be patient with me right now. I might need help clipping this on. Okay. Thank you. Are we still working? Okay. Can you hear me easily? All right. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. I've been sitting here through this service very deeply moved by the consciousness of this community, by the flow of the service, by the depth of the spiritual understanding. This is a very special place, a very sacred place, and this service is a very sacred gathering. I thank you very, very much for allowing me to be a part of this, and I honor each of you. Okay. Technology. Is this better? Better? Okay. But anyway, thank you for having me here. And I hope you know how amazing you are and how amazing this community is and how amazing your minister is. Yeah. So my name is Dalia Adams. I'm introducing myself just because it seems easier at the moment. I am a retired teacher, a retired clinical psychologist, a unity minister, and a mindfulness meditation teacher. So I've been a unity minister since 2011. I've served at Silent Unity as a prayer associate, a trainer, a supervisor, and then in church ministry since 2013. And I was at the Unity Church in Vacaville for quite a number of years. The one thing that I knew as I was growing up, I had no idea what I wanted to do, except I knew for sure that I would never be a teacher, that I would find a job that would allow me to work alone because I was very shy and introverted. So I started out actually in research in a lab by myself, and here I am right now. So we are talking today about forgiveness, or I'm talking about forgiveness. And forgiveness is an amazing and challenging process. Oh, you know what? I've got another technology issue. I left. The distraction happened when I was walking up and my mic wasn't working. So in the scriptures, it says that Peter came to Jesus and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? And Jesus said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7 times. So does that mean that after the 77th time, we get to stop? And has anybody ever experienced a situation where you actually tried 77 times to forgive someone or something, and you thought you had it down, and there it was again? Okay. The metaphysical understanding, or the symbolic understanding of 7 in our scriptures, is a time of completion. So when we have done something 7 times, it's not the literal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's I do this until it is complete. So Peter is saying, do I forgive my brother until I'm complete? And Jesus says, no. What you do is you do it until it's complete 70 times. So if you're ever in a situation where something happens and you shift your way of seeing or understanding about it, and you forgive that person and you're done with it, it doesn't ever come back up again, you're complete. You don't have to do 70 times that. For example, on my way here, I was a little bit lost, and I was looking at my Siri map direction thing and trying to figure out where I was going to be turning. I was at a red light when I was doing this, and apparently I was doing this a little bit longer than I should have been doing, and the guy behind me laid on his horn, whipped around me, and made a left-hand turn in front of me. I had a moment of, and then, it was kind of shrug my shoulders and remember times when I was in a hurry and someone in front of me was dawdling or not paying attention. I kind of grinned. And the only reason it came back up is I was searching for an example right now. So when it's released and it's done, that's fine. You can ignore everything I'm saying and everything we're doing in the workshop. But there are times that no matter how deeply I go no matter how strong my intention is to forgive, and no matter how successful I might feel in the given moment, the next day or the next week or the next time the situation is triggered, there it is again. There it is again. And there it is again. And so the teaching is that whatever process we have for forgiveness, each time we're called upon to do that process one more time. And to find a way of doing that process without kicking ourselves, without criticizing ourselves, without feeling bad that there it is again, without, and one of my favorites, well, if I were really a good person, I wouldn't be here again, you know? So without doing that, just acknowledging the way Jesus acknowledged for us, that sometimes we have to take this forgiveness process to the point of completion and do that 70 times. Jesus was a teacher of wisdom. He really got what it was to be human, even as he expressed divinity so fully. So if we ask ourselves, what is forgiveness? I like this quote by Jack Kornfield and Tara Brach, their mindfulness meditation teachers. They wrote, "Forgiveness isn't weak, it's not naive, it takes real courage. It doesn't mean you forgive and forget. It doesn't mean you condone what happened." And I think sometimes that's what trips us up. We think we have to condone what happened. And there's a part of us that screams, no way can I ever condone this. And so if we're thinking we have to do that, that's one of the places where we can get stuck. Again, this continues to be from Tara and Jack. Without forgiveness, we are chained to the past. Whole nations, Northern Ireland, the Catholics and the Protestants, or the Palestinians and the Israelis, get caught up in cycles for generations of not forgiving the other side. And for hundreds of years, they carry on the suffering. We have in our own TV culture, at least what I grew up with, the Hatfields and the McCoys. For generations, families just absolutely would not back down, right? And with pride. I'm never going to forgive that, right? The practice of forgiveness has a dignity that allows us individually and collectively to lift the burdens of the past from our heart and to free ourselves from the suffering of the past. My personal belief, the psychologist in me and how I experience the forgiveness process, I believe that part of what gets us stuck is that reptilian brain, the part of us that just reacts, absolutely reacts. And my first education, when I thought I'd be a research scientist locked away in a lab by myself, in those classes I learned about something called a fixed action pattern. And in the reptilian brain, when an action is begun, if an animal is reaching for food, or if there is a defensive reaction, or sometimes a mating response, if it's interrupted, and even if it's no longer meaningful, if the food is taken away, or the opponent is removed, there are some actions that have to continue till they're completed. And I think when we get angry and all that stuff arises in us, and then our brain kicks in and says, no, there's nothing to be angry about. There's a part of us that is still run by that reptilian brain that feels compelled to take that anger, that defensiveness, that attack to its completion. And simply calling on our rational minds sometimes is not enough. I had a bird that taught me so many spiritual lessons. She ranks as one of my top teachers in life. Her name was Kona. She was a blue and gold macaw. I got her in a moment of insanity when I knew nothing about birds, and then later read that no one should ever start learning about birds with this particular breed because they're about as difficult as it can be. But she taught me a lot, and birds at nights like to have dark. So what I would do is I would put her in her cage and cover the cage. During the day, she would be out on her perch most of the time. But in the morning, if I was not fast enough, when daylight was coming in the windows and there were noises around, and if I wasn't up and around fast enough to get into the room she was in and take that cover off and let her out the cage, she would start. And she knew what she was talking about. No, she was. This whole idea that birds just parrot, they can do that. But these birds, they have conversations. And there's psychology research that shows they have the IQ of about a 4-year-old. And that's the level at which they can communicate. But anyway, so if I was too slow in the morning, I could hear her, I want to come out. Pause. I want to come out. Another pause. I want to come out. I want to come out. I want to come out. And it's getting, and they have vocal cords. And by the time she was screaming, and her wings would get spread like this. I want to come out. And I knew the neighbors were all being woken up, right? So I'd come, and I'd open up the cage for her, and she'd stay. You can see the cage door is open. Her wings are still spread, and she's still screaming, I want to come out. I want to come out, and she had to get all of that out of her. Well, we're the same way. We get into situations, we get angry, we get resentful, we feel hurt, we feel betrayed, and we feel imprisoned by our own feelings, and we want to come out. We want to come out. We want to come out, and we know how to open that door. We've all learned the process of forgiving. But we're still caged by that hurt and by that anger. And we need to be very compassionate with ourselves because there is that biological drive that keeps it going. It doesn't mean we don't have tools to become free. But it's not out of any kind of moral ineptitude that we get stuck. This bird was not stupid. It knew she knew how to come out of the cage when the door was open. But she was stuck in a drive that was just a part of who she was. So through forgiveness, we reclaim that freedom of our hearts. And so the ultimate lesson in that is, even though the forgiveness somehow involves the other person, it's triggered, an action on their part triggers our need to forgive. Even though the other person might even be blessed by our forgiveness, it's not really at all about the other person. Forgiveness is always a process, a gift that we give ourselves. It's a way that we have for opening that cage door and allowing us to be free. You know, we can finally get to a point where we're struggling to forgive someone and we're getting there, and, you know, and maybe this is weeks-long process, months-long, years-long, and we're doing all this. Meanwhile, the other person's taking a trip around the world on a cruise, not even thinking about us, not even concerned, you know. So it is truly about us. And it's a process. Again, there are those moments when you can just release it and you're done. But the times that we're talking involve a process. And first of all, what we need to know is what it is and what it is not. So we know that it's a process. We know that it is about us. We know that it is about the freedom of our own hearts. And in some ways it involves the other person, but it's not about the other person, really. So in order to engage the process, sometimes it's very important to acknowledge and to really know deeply the suffering that we cause ourselves when we do not forgive. We really have to acknowledge how our hearts close, how so much of our mind space is taken up by these thoughts that go round and round and round, how those thoughts take away from our joy, how they take away from our power. In Unity, we like to talk about manifesting. Well, in order to manifest our good, we have to have our hearts open, and we cannot be blocking our good with anger, resentment, hurt, feeling betrayed. So we really need to recognize the weight or the cost of not forgiving. And we need to also recognize the benefits of a loving heart. You know, that opening that I felt sitting here in your service with the songs that were chosen and the readings. There was an opening of my heart, and I felt a oneness with everyone here. That is the source of joy. That is that source of knowing our oneness with God. That is the source of our knowing our own goodness. And that's one of the gifts or one of the benefits of having that loving heart when we forgive. Another thing that is helpful in the process is knowing that we are not required to be loyal to our suffering. The Hatfields and the McCoys. My great-grandfather hated them, and there is no requirement to be loyal. And maybe you truly are right, because being right is one of the things that keeps us. There are times that I've been angry where I know absolutely that I'm right. But so what? So what? When I get angry at my least favorite politician, I have absolutely no doubt that that politician is wrong and I'm right. But if I stay miserable for the rest of the day or maybe the rest of the year, what good has that done, right? Being right is no reason to be loyal. There's a talk I've heard many times that involves a question, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Well, I worked in a corporation. I was a Unity person, and I was doing corporate training, but about attitudes at work and things like that. And I asked this group of corporate people, do you want to be right? And do you want to be happy? And everyone except one said they wanted to be right. And I had no idea where to go from there. So, so hopefully, how many people would rather be happy? Okay, we're good. We're on the same page. It's helpful when we're forgiving to know that life is bigger than our stories. Whatever happens, we create a story around it because that's what our minds do. And whatever our story is, whatever my story is when I'm right, life or truth is always so much bigger than this story. There's so much more to it. And one of the things that's helped me along the way sometimes is just reminding myself, I don't know the whole story. It doesn't matter how much I know. It doesn't matter how many angles I can see it from. But whatever it is, there's more to the story, and I don't know the whole story. And then know that intention is very powerful. So if I am struggling with something that is robbing me of my peace, my happiness, simply stating to myself or choosing to have the intention to forgive, even if I can go no further than that in the moment, that intention is powerful. Over the last few years, there was this woman, and if I could tell you some of the things that she did, you would all be angry on my behalf. You would all know that I'm right. You would all be loyal with me, right? But I so wanted to forgive her, and I was getting nowhere, but I was holding this intention, and I somehow never quite could get beyond that intention. So I signed up for a course at the price of $299 on how to forgive. And after that, when it would come up and I'd remind myself of the intention, I would add, and I paid $299. And that actually helped kickstart. It made the intention powerful enough. I never finished the course, but somehow that intention became very real to me. The other step is our willingness to transform. If we really go through this forgiveness process, especially with the things that have cut deep. You know, there's so much injustice in our world. And sometimes our anger and unforgiveness is not about us, but what we see being done to others. And we get angry and we are, sometimes my whole body hurts when I see it. And the thought of forgiving that just seems absolutely no way. Or there's the fear that if I forgive it, I will no longer take the action that's needed. That's not true. It just means that I will take that action from the strength of my own heart. When our hearts are peaceful, we are deeply in the knowing of our oneness with God. And through that, our strength comes. And through that, the actions we take become more powerful. So that willingness to transform, a transformation that really aligns us with our divinity, is an important part of the process. And then, of course, after we've done all that, we come to this place of completion, and we know we have forgiven, and we've claimed our divinity, our joy. Just be willing to do it again. Just be willing to do it again, because that's the nature of forgiveness, and that's the nature of being spiritual or divine beings having this human experience. And so, to conclude, we also can remember the gifts of forgiveness. Freedom of heart, deeper peace, greater joy, better health. There's all kinds of research that of the health benefits of an open heart, of the health benefits of releasing those negative emotions and attitudes of resentment, anger, hostility, hurt, victimhood. Back when I was training in psychology, I remember being taught and reading research studies that showed how ongoing anger and resentment damaged our health, and conversely, how releasing that improved our health. One of the studies took all of the major risk factors for heart disease. It was smoking, obesity, diet, I forget whatever. There were 5 or 6 big ones, right? And in that study, they added ongoing anger, resentment. And they had mathematical ways of taking the data and ranking them in the order of their impact, how much impact they had on health. And the ongoing anger and resentment had more of an impact than all of the other risk factors combined. So why is it that we haven't heard about that? No, seriously. It's the only one that doesn't make anybody money, right? All the others we learn about through advertising and programs, but it's for a company, a corporation, a group that makes money from promoting the fact that you have to eat a better diet. Now, ministers might make some money on the last one, but they don't make much money. Improved relationships, improved relationship with ourselves and with each other, our community, and the world. So there's so much more to say and do with this. If you can join in the workshop after the service, we'll do some experiential stuff. We'll do some meditation, some journaling, some talking about it. But forgiveness is a gift that we give ourselves. And so it is. so as we go deeper into this time of meditation, I invite you to sit comfortably, allow your body to relax, become aware of the movement of your breath. And you may even notice how each breath takes you a little deeper within. Allowing your breath to move you into your heart space. Into that sacred space within you where you feel the presence that is God. And from that sacred space, ask gently, what is there within me now that is asking to be released, asking to be forgiven? And whatever that may be, simply hold the intention to forgive, to release. And for a little while, simply take that thing from within you and set it down on the ground beneath your feet or beside your feet. You can always take it back later, but for a little while, just set it down. And then notice what it is like with that thing. Notice what it is like in your heart. Notice what it is like in your mind. And then if you would like, you can ask again. Is there another thing that stands between my joy, my freedom? And if there is, take that thing also and set it down beside your feet just for a little while. And notice again what it is like without that thing. Notice the joy, the freedom. Notice the presence that you find without that thing. And for a little while, be in the presence, in the silence. In this moment, I choose to forgive. In this moment, I choose my joy. So holding those affirmations in your heart, allow yourself to gently and easily bring your attention back to this room. Take a nice deep breath, and then join with me in saying, thank you, God, amen.
I forgive you. I forgive me. I forgive all and live my life in peace. I forgive you. I forgive thee. I forgive all and live my life in peace. I forgive you. I forgive thee. I forgive all and live my life in peace.
Yes, my friend Robin often says it's hard to break that energy, but we will. So we've come to a part of our service where we have the opportunity to give back into God's flow of good in the world. Whether you do that with your offerings or your time or just your intention, it's important. Unity of Monterey Bay is the collective consciousness and commitment of all of us who give of our time, our treasure, and our talent in order to sustain this spiritual community that is dedicated to transforming lives. We know that prosperity is a state of mind that finds blessings in every situation and abundance in joyous generosity. We transform all appearance of fear or lack into faith-filled peace of mind by shifting our attention to thoughts of gratitude for the abundance of God's good in our lives. And before the ushers come forward, just a short story. So like our wonderful speaker today, I struggle forgiving certain politicians and those who wage war on other people and kill and create mayhem. Very, very hard for me. But a couple of days ago, I had the most extraordinary, ordinary experience, and I want to share it with you. We attended the graduation of one of our granddaughters at University of Arizona. They had the largest graduating class in their history, 9,000 students. And those students were supported by a whole bunch of loving family members and friends. So much so that the 9,000 students, loving family and friends, filled the football stadium to capacity. Capacity is 50,000 people. And think about it. That's happening all over the country. It's one university. 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. And I thought, this has given me renewed, all these wonderful kids and their magnificent families has given me renewed hope for the world. And then I thought, how much better it would be if my faith gave me that hope for the world instead of having to see it. So I'll be thinking about that for some time. As the ushers please come forward, I invite you to think of something that you're grateful for in this moment. And now, with our hearts and minds overflowing with gratitude, we breathe into the divine flow of God's good, trusting that we are enough, that we have enough, and that there always is enough, both to have and to share. We give thanks for all the ways you give, in person, online, monthly bank auto payments, the QR code in the pews, or any other way. We ask that everyone join in faith and gratitude as we pass the offering basket this morning by holding the basket and blessing it as it comes to you. And now, please join me in our offertory blessing. I am an open channel for God's infinite good, divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies everything I give and everything I receive. I am both blessed and a blessing. Thank you, God.
I'm reaching out, feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Forever is already mine. I'm reaching out, feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep into the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in
Woke us all up, John. So it is with great joy that we bless and give thanks for these gifts and offerings that demonstrate the collective commitment to the spiritual work of love and transformation in our lives and in our world. We dedicate this offering, our lives, and this ministry to more fully expressing the Christ light that is the truth of our being and inviting all people to know God's love. Finally, knowing that one with God, all things are possible, we affirm together, the good is now, the rest is blessed, and the best is yet to be in our lifetimes gently. Thank you, God. Amen. Thank you, ushers. We want to thank the musicians who created the music that we used this morning, including Daniel Nahmod, Richard Burdick, Nancy Abercrombie, and Charlie Tweet, for their inspiring music, and of course our awesome music team led by Sue today, when in Denise's absence, and John and Mary Ann. We're just so blessed with joyous music and all of the generosity of our community people. So our announcements today, as always, check your e-blast, and you should now know you can also go on in the e-blast, you can check on our community calendar and find out what's going on. But today, as Dalia was talking about, we're having our workshop that will expand her forgiveness theme. And as Michelle and I have shared, we both had the opportunity to have that, be in that workshop before, and it's definitely worth the time and experience. And we are having lunch. We have, if you're coming to the workshop, we have lunch downstairs. We have lasagna and salads and some goodies, so please come down. And the suggested love offering is $20, but as always, finances should never stop anybody from attending or participating. Next Sunday, May 25th, is Food for Body and Soul, and Sue's going to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, next Sunday after the service is Food for Body and Soul. Our Unity COPA core team's been working on this event. We have articles in the back. We will have a discussion on what COPA calls political or public relationships, friendships, and the importance of that in deepening our connection with each other in our congregation and in our community. So we'll have a discussion about that, and then we'll be able to share and connect with each other in small group work. So I hope you'll join us for that. We will have food. So it'll be over lunch. So looking forward to seeing you next week. And please feel free to take it. It's just a 4-page article. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sue, and all the work you do with our COPA team and keeping our community, our public face and service orientation going, and helping keep my sanity during these political times. Next week also is Church of the Wild, so after you stay for the Food for Body and Soul, and then at 2 o'clock, if you're interested in going on up to Michelle's Church for the Wild, that Church of the Wild, that will be happening as well. And remember again that sign-ups to host the Summer Fling event are in the Sacred Grounds. You choose the theme and the date and the size and the ticket price. We advertise and sell the tickets, and everybody has a wonderful time. So if you're, that's any time between now and usually the fall, like September or so. I think Marianne and Sue have had a few in October, but this is our big summer fundraising. So as we close and bring our service to an end, we are grateful that you have all joined us here live or virtually. Whether it's your first time with us or you're a regular, we hope that we've made you feel at home with our Unity of Monterey Bay community this morning, knowing that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And if it's your first time with us, be sure to pick up a packet of information in the back, and the ushers can help you find one of those if you're interested. Our chaplain today on duty is Jan, and we're grateful for our whole chaplain team that holds high watch for our entire community. If midweek you're needing prayers, you can always go onto our website and send a prayer request through that, and it will get sent to the chaplains, and they will hold that in prayer. And then all of those prayer needs go on to Silent Unity for another 30 days of prayer. So as our kids used to say, we are a prayer-conditioned church. And we're grateful for that. We're going to join, as we have been doing every week now, before we get into our circle, with our prayer for our nation. So please join me. I am, and we are, channels of God's love. Through divine love, justice prevails, and powerful and good results come forth. I trust the activity of God within myself, all people, and all situations. I give thanks for divine intelligence and divine grace operating and expressing fully in all people, in our country, government, and world. High is good for all is the result, and so it is. So let's make our circle for our prayer and peace song. so I want to hold Michelle and Paco in our prayers. Everything's good. Michelle took a deserved 2-week break from church, as you've noticed, and she will be back next week with us. And so we're just grateful for, as one person I shared their news with, that at least the immigration system is working well in some instances. And so we're grateful that that happened in our community. And so anybody, any prayer needs or requests that you have on your hearts or minds for anybody that you'd like to bring into this circle?
My friend Drew.
John's friend Drew,
And
who's,
his wife Karen. His wife Karen.
and his wife Karen. If you don't remember, Drew has ALS and is needing our prayers for wisdom and gentle strength, and as well as his wife. And yet, go ahead.
My brother, my son and his wife, I'd like to pray for them. They're having a difficult time right now and pray for their highest good.
Okay. What are their first names?
Jeremy and Beth.
Jeremy and Beth. I can't hear you. Oh, okay. So as we hold all these beloved individuals in our hearts and minds, and others that we may not have named, and others that we may not even know, but God knows, we see them lifted up in spirit with the strength and the healing and the wellness that is the truth of each of our beings. And so with this, we join in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.